Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I painted this Tomb Guard, originally released in 2003 and sculpted by Colin Grayson. Unfortunately, as you can see here on screen, you're already seeing pictures of the finished product. The video files that I recorded for this paint job were corrupted and would not work. So, you're just going to get essentially a slideshow, a narrated slideshow today. I know, not the greatest of videos, but we'll endeavor to have a real video tomorrow. I will still go through my painting process, though, just in case anyone is curious about that. So I started off by base coating the bones and the bandages with Nasdrag yellow. This was just to completely cover the primer. I used Krylon Camo Tan as the primer. I just wanted to cover the primer completely on the bones and bandages so that I had a darker color in the recesses instead of the light tan color. Then I went to some Black Templar and just base coated the metal and the leather in this. Again, just to cover the primer, and I ended up using the black as the main color for the leather anyway. Then I did Talisar Blue on the neck piece here, the decorative part. And then I went into the gold. So I did a three paint combo here. I started with Greedy Gold from Army Painter. Then I went to Bright Gold, also from Army Painter. And then Peridot Alchemy from Scale 75. I used them, basically I base coated in Greedy Gold. Then I painted highlights, rough highlights with Bright Gold. And then fine highlights with Peridot Alchemy. Just kind of working my way up, darkest to lightest. Then I painted the silver with Cobalt Metal. And the silver is just around his loincloth, the studs that are on his leather bits, and then the edge of his blade as well. Then I went to highlighting the bone, and you'll have to bear with me here. I went with a kind of crazy color choice for this model. I went with Tomb King Tan from the Army Painter. I know. It's crazy, but I think it ended up working out pretty well in the end. And I just did I don't even know if I'd call it a highlight, but basically a second base coat, just not going into all the recesses with this. Then I took some bony spikes, also from Army Painter, and I highlighted the bones with this. You can see it, especially on like the hand and the face, the kneecap, things like that. Then I just did a couple washes to finish them off. I used Agrax Earthshade for a wash on the bandages, just to make them stand out even more from the bones around them. Then I did some Nuln Oil as a bone wash. I did this very lightly, just to accentuate those recesses just a little bit more, but not to change the color of the bone itself. And then finally, some Reichland Flesh Shade. This was on the gold, just to give it a slight tint of red. Sometimes, or most of the time, I guess, these guys, in their box art, they are holding shields, and they're like painted red, and so there's this massive red detail. I didn't include the shield on this guy because it kind of covers the entire model, and it would kind of make when I thought I was recording a video, it would basically make the whole video just how to paint a shield, and I didn't want that. So I left the shield off, and if I one day make a Tomb King's army, I'll stick the shield on and paint it then. Then I just use some yellow pigment powder for the base. I just apply a layer of Nasdrag yellow contrast paint, dip it in the pigment powder, wait for it to dry, and it gives you this nice kind of varied, deserty look. I think it looks great. Then I painted the base rim with Paratrooper Tan and called it a day. So thank you everybody for watching. I'm sorry there's not an actual video today. I will hopefully not run into that same error tomorrow. That's the plan anyway. But regardless, if you enjoyed the slideshow, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you tomorrow for episode 16 of the Month of Metal.